Hi there, Karen here with Whiskey Sour. Hope everything's well with you. I wrote a blog today called Where is Your Adventurous Side? And I look at my life, boy, adventure might be a good word for my life. Some really, really good, some really, really bad, but all in all, I didn't let any grass grow around my feet, that's for sure. I read a quote today from Robert Frost, who I think about a lot when the weather gets chilly. I wonder why. Two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. I feel especially connected to this quote by Robert Frost because most of the choices that I have made have been on the road less traveled. I was the little girl who would eat green strawberries and while everybody else was waiting for them to turn to color. I don't know if that was just my impatience or my adventure, but that's what happened. Some of my choices caused me great stomach pain, both literally and figuratively. But I boldly made the choice to take option B more times than not. Or I would just take the option to not wait. I just go for it anyway. Eat the green strawberry. Seeing what is behind door number 2 will either give us something greater or make us regret ever going there. But the thing about me is I've never been comfortable with not looking. Wondering what else is available to me and losing sleep over it was always more painful than the disappointment of the gamble. And I was also that little girl who would pluck a green pepper and take it from the garden, go on a walk, and I'd pretend that it was my magical fruit with all these magical powers. And other kids went straight for the fruit trees. You know, go pluck a pear the great thing is our farm had a lot of choices that way, and I experienced all of them, but for some reason I really liked to go for the green pepper and then go wandering in the woods. And I was the girl who chased the arts while others found really safe, good paying jobs. I like to think that by choosing the road less traveled, I haven't become really richer by it, that's for sure, like gambling on the slower horse, but I am quite certain that my choice made life at least more interesting. So I would have the tendency to choose the slower horse because I thought we could just go for a nice little horse ride instead of, picking the one that everybody else was going to pick to win. That seems more like me. My experiences have provided a very colorful backdrop to my current place and my current state in the world. I now have a palette of colors that I can paint with, that I can draw from, that I wouldn't have had I taken the same path as everyone else. And you know what? The colors in my backdrop, the things that are in my backdrop, a lot of them are really ugly. And in hindsight, I might not have chosen those. But the fact is that is my backdrop. My life experiences are my backdrop. That's what I got to work with. So playing it safe seems to be a constant reminder whenever we gamble a bit with life. I have found the best way to gamble is not about choosing how much you invest, but by changing my mindset to be acclimated to being sure I will be totally okay with the outcome. And that's the difference. I don't look at life's gambles as how much can I get back. I look at them now as trying something new. I sometimes don't even worry about the outcome. It's just like, I want to try something new. And that can result in something really good or really bad. And it has. I just try to make sure that my mind is prepared for whatever that result is. And how will I react to bad endings? I have to kind of be okay with that before the bad ending ever even hits. I make sure I understand that the goal is to gain perspective, not to gain money or monetary items at all. And some people view this Robert Frost quote as being adventurous. Two roads diverged in a wood. I took the one less traveled by, and that's made all the difference. When I made the move from Canada to Los Angeles, and you might have heard me say this before, I could hear these very loud whispers, as much as an oxymoron that is, in the circles around me from people who were very sure that I had gone mad. They might be right. I don't know. I didn't have it all figured out when I came here. And I packed a suitcase and I packed a smaller bag, and I knew that was pretty close to being stupid at the time. I was pretty sure of that. But looking back, it wasn't at all. And I figured, what was the worst thing that was going to happen? That's the thing. I just didn't really even consider the worst case scenario because I felt like I was already living the worst case scenario where I was in Canada at that particular time. And I figure, how can a green strawberry make you sick when you already have the flu? It's kind of just that simple to me. I didn't feel threatened by any potential effect. So when things are going so bad in our lives, uh, it's kind of a good thing sometimes that we don't bother looking at what the potential outcome or effect is going to be on the next choice we make because we think, well, it can't get any worse. So you boldly go and try that adventure, and that's maybe the good part of being in the fire. And trial by fire is another phrase that I feel really associated with. There were so many choices I had made that were forced on me. Things I didn't want to do, things I didn't choose to do, and they were just simply forced. The situations were forced on me. And some of us need that fire lit under us in order for us to go running. But then other people will not even budge from the chair unless their whole house is on fire. But then there's some people who are so sad, and this has been me before, they welcome their home burning up so they don't have to face another day. And that's the sad part. I've definitely taunted that fire around me to take me with it many times. This morning I saw the two feral kitties. You probably hear me talk about these guys maybe too much for those of you who don't like cats or something. Whatever. See you later. I see these feral kitties in the back parking lot. They look like two bobcats. They're getting that gorgeous winter fur on them now. And I wish I could get them to come to me, but they just won't. But there's a roof nearby, like a garage roof, a flat garage roof, and they go up on that. And I hate that they sit there and bite at their fleas constantly. That drives me more nuts than anything. I've resolved my mind to the fact that they are feral kitties. Nobody's going to get a hold of them, and this is the life they're living. One of them I've seen long before Filthy was ever around, so we're going on close to 5 years. And I figured, well, if they're not in a shelter, this is something the shelters are starting to teach us how to take care of feral colonies because the shelters are just full, right? So they have a lot of freedom, these two kitties. But I got to thinking that the fleas that have been bugging them actually keep them pretty calm. And they keep them occupied because they really don't do too much of anything else except bite at their fleas all day. It's heartbreaking. I always wish I had some kind of dart gun I could just dart them and kill all their fleas. But I wondered what kinds of things would they do if they didn't have the fleas distracting them? Like what kind of adventure could they go on? I'll see them spot one another, and they'll start to swing their tails as though they're going to have some kind of anticipation of play or something. And then they'll both be stopped by their own fleas. So you see them going towards each other, and the tails are going. It's going to be an exciting little thing, and then they both stop and start biting at their fleas. And the one kitty this morning that I saw, he was rolling on the roof as though he was saying, "Fleas, fleas, fleas. Yeah, I got them. Whatever. Life's a riot." Like he went with it. He probably was just like, I'm just going to roll these things out of here. He just kind of went with it. And we all have something that is holding us back from being adventurous. The hard part is to figure out how to find ourselves in it all when we're so consumed by our own skin crawling. We become so fixated on our skin that we simply cannot find the person who we are on the inside. And I guess we can be an indoor kitty without those fleas, safe, clean, or we can endure the bites and go hunting. Maybe the best of both worlds would be to tackle those fleas once and for all so that we can't be bitten on our journey. But life throws us these curveballs that we've mentioned before. It's just, I think the better thing is maybe to gain a perspective on how to deal with it when the bites come. What's our reaction going to be to that? Because they're going to come, and it's just going to happen. And I think running away from problems isn't part of an adventure. Adventure should make us feel free. So maybe some of us do have to get these fleas under control before we go off. My fleas weren't under control, but this analogy is kind of creepy, isn't it? And it makes me crawl a little bit and get a little itchy. I used to be a hairstylist, and the big fear in our salon was head lice, right? So, you'd be checking kids for lice, and you'd find lice, and then you'd go home and you're just crawling for the rest of the day. It's kind of how I feel when I watch these kitties. I'm just scratching for the rest of the day for them. so running away from our problems shouldn't be part of the adventure. And I think I was running despite my fleas. And sometimes you have to do that, you know. Just sometimes you just got to get it going somehow. Um, and I think the key is to not feel bad or feel guilty about the choices you make, and be okay with whatever that outcome is. Uh, don't prepare ourselves to shatter like glass if it all goes horribly wrong. Just continue to look at it as an adventure. So I signed off today on my Where's Your Adventurous side blog, staying off the beaten path. Something I really love to do. If I go into the foothills of Los Angeles, you know, they always have the trails for everybody, and they're quite wide, so horses and everything can go on them. I really like to go off on something that there's no footprints already. Just like, where does that go? Just bare left and see where that goes for a while. That's always fun. I bookend the Robert Frost quote today. Bookend the Robert Frost quote today with freedom lies in being bold. Whatever choices we make, I'm not saying you have to bet the farm or even jump in with both feet. But if you do have something you want to do, doing it boldly really is satisfying. Just, you know, throwing that a little bit of caution to the wind. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I will not promise you that it's going to go smoothly. Mine didn't. I don't expect the rest of my life to go smoothly at this point. I expect that every time I make a bold choice, there's going to be something potentially bad that could go wrong. And I have to just prepare my spirit with that being a potential outcome. So, thought I'd share that with you today. And of course, I will check in with you guys tomorrow. Hope your holidays are going well and everything's okay. Just to clarify on the email, I know you guys tell me not to apologize, but the fact is that people will still email me and still leave me messages wondering why I'm not emailing them or calling them back. And so that's why I have to reiterate what saying this to you is that I get so much email. I just get so much of it, and I feel so much love for you guys, and I love that. Thank you. So awesome. But on that token, do not be mad at me if I don't return it, because there just simply is not enough hours in the day. And my point to being here at home, instead of going back home for Christmas, is to catch up on work. And so that's what I'm doing here. So if I'm not responding the way you would hope I would, it's because I've made a choice to not be with family so that I can catch up on work. That's how much work I have to do, and that's how many things I have to get done by deadlines. So that's all it is. Please don't be offended. I see some responses where people will give me little stabs and stuff, and it's just like, don't do that. Come on, friends don't do that to each other. I have several friends who we don't talk for a long time, and then we just pick up where we left off, and it's great. And I think that's what friendship's supposed to be. Not all these expectations to give me these little digs in emails and stuff. Come on, be cool. So for all you people that keep saying, don't apologize, Karen, we totally get it. I'm going to keep saying this until I don't get any more emails where people give me these little stabs. And it's not your fault. You might have something really pressing that you need to talk to me about, but it's just time. It's just totally time. There's so many loving people out there, and it's just time. It's all it is. And just please keep in mind, please, 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 that my choice to not be with my family at Christmas is because of work and some other things that I need to wrap up. So if you keep that in mind, you shouldn't be offended. You know, my family could be offended that I'm not seeing them at Christmas time, but they're not. They understand. So be cool. And you know, sometimes my mind will wander if somebody hasn't, you know, called me back or emailed me back or whatever, and I'll think, oh, they must hate me, or they're annoyed by me or something like that. It's like, it's not always that. It can be something as simple as time. Okay, so be cool. Love you guys a lot. You guys are awesome, and I read as much as I can from you. But anyway, I'm not gonna say anything more about that until another blog. It's great when my friends are so supportive and tell me not to apologize, but whatever. Anywho, blah, 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 blah. Have a great week ahead, great day ahead, great holidays ahead. If you still got family to be with, hope that goes well. So for Whiskey Sour and me, I will talk to you guys tomorrow, okay? Rock on.